In our last meditation, we discussed the first key variable of innovation, the problem. And we discussed how to start to identify a problem using the seatbelt moment with the acronym of SEAT. Stop ignoring the problem, creating an emotional connection, admitting that there is a problem, and then telling others that you're going to solve that problem. We left the last meditation with an assignment, whether that was to tell others about the problem or identify the person that you need to provide a seatbelt moment to. In the last meditation, I did say that there were two different challenges in identifying the problem. One which was to identify the problem, and the one that we're going to talk about today, which is making sure that we have a real problem. In the book, The Mindful Innovator, we discussed Thirsty Dog, a brand of bottled water in the 90s that was invented for dogs. The founder of Thirsty Dog was a dog owner himself, and he really did see it to be a problem that giving his dog water from the tap was not healthy. Tap water had chlorine and minerals in it that were not good for dogs. So he decided that dogs could really use their own bottled water, just like humans have. He did a lot of testing with dogs to see if they would like the water. It was flavored appropriately with salmon, beef, chicken, and dogs absolutely loved it. The biggest problem that Thirsty Dog had, though, was that once it got to shelves, they weren't selling any product. It was great they tested it with dogs, but they forgot to test it with humans. Would humans actually purchase bottled water for dogs? Was this really a problem that consumers had? Did people really care if their dogs were drinking tap water? In fact, consumers were saying once the product was launched that they didn't see it as a problem, and hey, my dog drinks out of the toilet, so I'm okay with the current situation. All this time, all this money spent by Thirsty Dog on solving a problem that was only one person's problem. Which is why it is so important for us to make sure that the problems that we are trying to solve for are truly problems. Not our own problems. Not problems that our company's culture may create. We need to remove the bias to make sure that we are actually solving consumers' problem. Then and only then can we have innovation. So today we're going to work on removing our own bias and put our problem through a filter to make sure that we are putting our energy in the right place. To help us identify the real problem, we are going to use the 432 Hz solfeggio frequency today. This frequency cleanses trauma, facilitates creativity and change. It manifests our goals, and it removes negative energy. Okay, so are you ready to have some fun? Find that nice, quiet place where you won't be disturbed for the next couple of minutes so we can focus in on identifying the real problem. And just breathe. Let's use that 4-2-4 count. 4 seconds in through the nose. Feel the air passing by your nostrils. Hold it for 2. And then out for 4 from your mouth. Feeling that air passing by your lips. And again. In for 4 seconds. Hold. And out for 4. And again, in, hold, seconds. Great. One more time. In for 4 seconds. Hold. And out for 4 seconds. Alright, continue to breathe using the 4-2-4. And I want you just to now focus on relaxing your body. Start from your head and try to loosen your eyebrows a little bit and relax all the muscles in your face. Drop your shoulders a little bit. Reduce the tension in your arms and your fingers, in your hips. In your thighs. Remove the tension from your calves and into your feet. And loosen your toes. Just get all the muscles relaxed. Hold no tension in your body. And then let your breath come back to normal. Just at a relaxed pace. I want you to just think about what is the problem that you want to solve. What is that seatbelt moment that you've identified? And just identify that as the problem that we're going to focus in on today. No other problems, just that one. And once you have that problem identified, I want you to point to 3 points of evidence that make you believe that this is a true problem. Now, these could be observations that you have made. It could be data points of just pure sales data that shows you that this is a problem. There is no limits to what you can use as evidence. So think right now about point number 1. What is that evidence that you have? And I want you to be super critical here with yourself. Is this a rational thought? Does this piece of evidence stand up when I mention it to anybody else? Or is it only something that I see? And if it is something that only you see, that's fine. Let's put a pin in that. And now let's move on to point number 2. What is your second piece of evidence? And ask yourself the same question. Is this a rational thought? Is this something that would stand up when I mention it to anyone else? And then point 3. What is your third piece of evidence that states this is truly a problem? And again, is that rational? Now, I want you to just take some time now to sit and reflect with your problem and your 3 pieces of evidence and its rationale. If all 3 points are irrational and would be hard to defend, you would have to consider whether or not you have the right evidence. And if you do have 3 points that you can argue, this gives you a lot more ground to stand on when you start to speak to others about the problem, to get others to help you solve this problem. So just sit, reflect with the breath on your problem and these 3 points. Do you truly have a problem? Okay, by now you've had some time to think about whether or not your problem was real and what evidence you had to support that problem. Now, there's a couple of different ways that this could have worked out. One, you could have confirmed that you had a problem and now have more evidence to go along that you can share with others to get on board with solving the problem. That's great. Congratulations. Your homework for today will be to share this with others, to get other people on board with your problem, and to see if there's any pushback, maybe things that you didn't think about. The second way that this could have went was that you've put your problem through the filters and you had some irrational evidence. You still might think that this is a problem, and that's fine. Your homework will be to speak to others about this problem and see if any others agree with you and what evidence others can come up with. Test your evidence. See if it does make sense, if it is rational to others. And 3, you could have tested your problem through the filters and realized that this problem was based in your own reality. It was biased. And if that is the case, congratulations. You've done the most difficult thing possible. And it was to engage yourself, question yourself, and saved yourself a ton of time and money. Now you are ready to innovate mindfully. Thank you for joining today's session of the Mindful Innovator Meditation Series. I look forward to seeing you next time.